Knowledge is power. Make an impact by learning more. Call us right now for more help at 866-945-8070. If you want what I have, then you have to be willing to go to any lengths to get it. When I started making videos, I would get up, no joke, 4 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because that was when I had time to get the videos done before I had to go see clients. In those days, I would see clients on site. Today, I no longer do that. So now I have more time, or it's easier to make the time. But the bottom line is, if you want what I have, if you want to be able to do what I'm doing, if you want leads coming in your email inbox and your contact form on your website, and of course your voicemail, if you want those leads coming to you every single day, then you've got to be willing to do what I've done. You've got to be willing to create content. So a few questions to consider, right? Are you looking to grow, but you don't have time? You're not making enough money, but you don't have any time, right? Because that's the answer I get a lot from people is, Seth, I don't have time to make videos. And I say, okay, then why do you need to make videos? You have plenty of business. You should be making plenty of money. You should be all set. And they say, no, I'm not really making plenty of money. The truth is I'm not making enough money, and yet I don't have any free time. So that means we got to do two things. We either have to raise your rates, or we have to hire somebody to scale and free up your time. Ideally, you should be running your business. You got to get out of the trenches. Yes, you should be working there somewhat so that you're up to date and fresh with things. But for the most part, you need to be out of that running your business. You need to be out there making it rain. And you can't hire somebody to produce content for you, because then it's not coming from your heart. And this really has to be the language of the heart. It has to come truly from within you. Otherwise, it's not you and it's not yours, and it will never be your brand. You can absolutely hire somebody to edit your content, but you have to be the originator. It has to come from your mind and from your heart. Now, if you want your results to change, then you have to change things up. Keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same results. You want something different, you want a different result, then you have to do something differently. So it's a Sunday or a Monday, or I don't care what day it is. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out onto your calendar as far out as you need to. Maybe it'll take a couple weeks before you can incorporate this, because you have to keep the commitments that you've made that are already on your calendar. So go out as far as you need to and block off a 2-hour block of time, or better yet, block off one whole day and say, this is going to be my day to create content. And nobody's allowed to get through on the phone. I'm not going to respond to emails. Respond to emails twice that day, in the morning and later on in the evening, just so you don't completely ignore people. But find a quiet spot for that day, or even if you start off blocking off 1 or 2 hours, find a quiet spot for that hour and just write something. I don't care what it is, write what's in your heart. Now, a lot of people tell me, Seth, I really don't like making videos. And I'm fairly confident that I can say accurately that if that's been your experience, it's because you're not doing something you love. Maybe you tried doing a video on something you thought you had to do. And that's the whole secret, is do something you love. Now, where to start? Start with something that you could do in your sleep, cold, right? Do a video on an introduction to QuickBooks or QuickBooks Online or whatever accounting software or any other software that you know inside out, that you know in your sleep, where you can close your eyes and visualize the screens. You could practically talk somebody through it with your eyes closed and explain to them exactly what to do. I've done this. I've been in the car with my headset on and had somebody on the phone with me, and I've been able to talk them through the screens to help them understand what to do. When you know something that well, the content should create itself practically for you. So I don't care. Find a quiet spot and start writing something. Write an outline. Write whatever's on your mind. Now, again, if you're clear on what you want to talk about, that's easy. If you're not clear, just write some bullet points. Get some ideas down, right? Start recording your ideas. Evernote's a great tool for that. Anytime you get an idea, just bang up a new note, write your little headline and a few notes just to trigger the thoughts, so that later when you go back to it, you remember what the idea was, what you actually wanted to do. Don't make the mistake I've made where I just write like what I think the title of the post should be, and then I go back a week later and I have no idea what I was thinking. So always write at least a few notes so that you remember later on when you look at it, oh yeah, that's right, that's what I wanted to write my blog post about, right? So here are the steps you need to take. You identify a target audience. Now let's say you're just starting out, so you don't have a big picture target audience that you're going for in terms of your business and picking just a few industries, because when you're starting out, you can't really pick yet. You have to try some out and see which ones you like. But for the purposes of this one particular blog post or video that you're doing, you want to identify the target audience. Who are they? Are they business owners? Are they other accountants and bookkeepers, right? Are they people who use QuickBooks Online? Are they people who use QuickBooks Desktop, right? Figure out who this is going to be for, and then create the content for that audience. While you're at it, create a mountain of content for that particular audience, because that's how you're going to get people start calling you and emailing you and asking you for more information and help on that subject. So be consistent. You know, a while back, years ago actually, when I was originally hired by BQE Software to record content for them, they said to me, hey, look, our product is really useful for lawyers. I said, great, let's get them in here by recording how-to videos on how to use QuickBooks for lawyers. And they gave me some pushback at first. They said, but we don't want to draw people in to get them to use QuickBooks. We want them to use our software or use our software in connection with QuickBooks. And I made a simple point to them, which they understood at that point. I said, yeah, but people aren't necessarily searching for your product as much as they're searching for QuickBooks. And since your product works with QuickBooks, it's the perfect way to get the right target audience in. So your approach to your audience may not be necessarily 100% direct. It doesn't matter. As long as you're getting them into something that's relevant and useful for them, once they get there, they'll get it. They'll come in and say, oh, this is a great video on how to use QuickBooks for lawyers. But hey, while I'm at it, I noticed BQE Software makes this product, now they have Core, which is actually great for lawyers too. Maybe I'll take a look at that. So that's kind of how that works, right? Identify the target audience, create content for that target audience, watch what happens. They will start coming in and calling you. And don't give up. It could take sometimes 6 months or more before this really starts to incubate, but I promise you that you'll thank me if you stick with this and stick with this for long enough. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to build. It's slower, but you're building a solid foundation. So once it does start to happen, it doesn't stop. I was able to slow down on producing content years ago. And frankly, if I wanted to, I still could stay slowed down, but I love producing content too much, so I'm not going to. So once you start to see the results, once you start to see the incubation period has passed and now people are starting to call and say, hey, I was just watching your video, I'd love to get more help. That's when you'll get excited because you'll start to feel firsthand how powerful this is. And what's better than that is it's fun, right? It's a lot of fun to do, especially when you're creating content about something you love to talk about, right? So I'm not buying it if you tell me you don't like to make videos. If you're telling me that, it's because you haven't made videos about the right thing. Make videos about stuff that you love to talk about, because then it's simple. You can forget about the fact that the camera is even there and you're just talking about something you love, right? Think about how you felt the last time you were at a networking event, or maybe you were at QuickBooks Connect and you were sitting down somewhere with somebody else and talking about something you love, talking about your trade, your craft, the stuff that you love to get up and do every single day. Remember how excited you got, right? That's how excited I get when I'm recording videos like this one, because I love talking about this stuff. I enjoy it. It's not just me trying to sell something. It's me talking about something I love. The fact that I might sell something and make money as a result of it is secondary to all of this. The truth is, the reason you're producing content is not to make money. It's to make connections with people who can use the help that you can offer. And then, yes, as a byproduct, you're going to make money, and lots of it, actually, quite frankly. So, just talk about something you love, record your passion, watch what happens.